Welcome to the DKOldies live stream. Today is Monday, May 6th. I am Joey. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Got some big stuff going on today. Got two new collections that came into the shop. I get asked all the time with the hundreds and hundreds of orders that we send out every single day. Our supply of stuff is constantly getting depleted on our shelves. From games to consoles, people are always asking, how do you resupply your stuff? It's from people out there just like you. There were two people here, for example, who reached out to us today. They were two of dozens of people every single day that reach out, ask us to buy their stuff. We get it in here, and I open up some of the packages right here during a live stream. You kind of get first dibs on seeing what comes into the shop, even before it goes through all the different departments and finally makes its way up onto the shelves. It's a little bit like an inside scoop. Also, I do giveaways regularly on this channel. Today could be the day for one. All you have to do to be entered in the giveaway is share the post and comment right down there in the chat that you shared. Takes seconds to do. You see a bunch of people doing it. What's going on, Sarah? Thanks for sharing. You too, Joe. You too, Giselle. Okay, let's get this show on the road. What's going on, Sir Charles? Glad you made it today. Good to see you. Got our first collection right up here on the table, and it looks like it's got this cool gaming sticker here right on it. And this collection's coming to us from Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Let's see what we got. What's going on, Jake from Wisconsin, huh? Hi, Brad. First item out of the box. This is neat. It's not off in the console. I can see what this one is already. Let's take a peek. Wrapped up in bubble wrap. Good sign. What's going on, Summer? Good to see you. This is the Sega Genesis. There were actually three models. I didn't know that before I started working here. This is the first full-size model. It's a little bit bigger. The second model is maybe about that big, about that or so. And then the third model is really small, just about that size. And reset button on it, power, two controller ports, and game slide right here through the top. What's up, Sarah? What were you saying? You played 007 with Daniel Craig. I do have to try that one, Sarah. You know I'm into those. You know it. Here's another one. My gosh. Second Sega Genesis system. Oh yeah, it's got a little light here. Not all the consoles have lights on. Let me think. The NES does when you push the the power button. Super Nintendo? Yeah, right. That's got one when you slide up the... Oh wait, now Super Nintendo, I'm wondering. I gotta go find out. Nintendo 64 does. No? It's funny trying to think of them when they're not here in front of me. All right, let's find some consoles. PlayStation. We know that's got the light on it. Over here, Wii's. NES's. Here's a Super Nintendo. Nope. Yeah, right up there's the light on that one. Nintendo 64's got a light up here in the front. I guess lots of consoles have a light on it. Something needs to tell you when the thing's turned on. Yeah, what's going on, Patrick from Iowa? Happy Monday indeed. Not too surprising, we're seeing the Genesis controllers down here also. Directional stick, 3 buttons, ABC. Start button. They didn't do a select button on the Genesis controllers, just a start button. And look at this down here. It says trigger. Why? There are no standard triggers, or what we'd think of nowadays as a trigger on this. Every console has a light, Mario says. Yeah, Mario, it seems like most of them do. Can we think of one? Can we think of one that doesn't? Can we put our collective heads together here? There's another Genesis controller. I like how it says right on. Look at that. Got that bold Genesis logo right on the top of them. Yep, Joe, you're right. Super Nintendo does have a light. We saw it over there. Yep. And so these are called the 3-button controllers. Shouldn't have to explain why. They're the 3 buttons right there. And there's a 6-button controller. Shares a lot in common. Basically everything except an extra row of buttons and a slightly smaller size to it. You can see here when compared to the larger 3-button one, just a little bit bigger. These kind of have like more of a hook that comes down here too that you can kind of grip in your hand. Just a little bit of a baby hook on this one. Does the Atari have a light? Good question, Sarah. Am I close enough to one? No, at least this model of Atari that we sell doesn't. Power buttons right there, and no lights on the front. Nothing here up top that turns on with that one. Good one. We found one. Nice, Sarah. Atari. Commodore 64 doesn't have a light? What's up, Noah? Not too familiar with that. That's not one we see too often. Why 3 or 6 buttons? That's a good question. I don't know, Carl. I guess they figured out, well, just like the NES was able to get away with 2, they probably know they could have gotten away with 2 buttons, but adding a third added some extra functionality. You could have the characters do something different. Let's see what else. PlayStation 2 Slim model. Sarah said that fixed my original Sega Genesis, and the light's the only thing I couldn't get to work. Yeah, so that shouldn't affect anything, right? It's just the light didn't come on. I'm sure the thing still worked as it should. 3rd Genesis console in this collection. Sure enough. And says right on it, 16-bit. That's cool. They didn't have to do this little decoration here on the side. It's kind of, if you hold it just the right direction, it's kind of a vent. You can sort of see inside the console a little bit. Let's see what else. What's going on, Jeremy? Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Dallas. You too. There's Sonic now for resale. Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And we've talked about this before. People ask all the time, uh-oh, it says not for resale on it. So this was back when these games were bundled. Sonic came bundled with the Genesis console. It was sold together in a box with the controller and the game. And they didn't want to send those out to game stores and have game stores take them apart and sell the console separately, the game separately. All that may have applied 30 years ago, not so much now anymore. There's another one. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yo, what's going on, Christopher? Thanks for sharing. Sonic 3D Blast. This is such a crazy picture of Sonic on this one. Look at him there. Kind of trying to do sort of a 3D polygon style of him there. What's going on, Jerome from Holland? That's right. Good to see you. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3. There he is, holding up 3 fingers. Oh, this is cool. All right, so what we're seeing here is the Sonic and Knuckles Genesis cartridge, and it's missing a flap up top that would flip over and protect these pins area right there. But this goes into the console, and then you can plug another Sonic game into the top of it, and the whole thing goes in the console just like that, and it adds Knuckles to some of the different Sonic games. There's NBA Jam, another good one. Sports games used to, I like how sports games used to have like a big fun angle to them. They weren't trying to be all super serious. NBA Jam is just goofy. Yo, what's up, Jenna? Yeah, that 3D Blast is legit. I know that artwork has a question in it. I hear you. Oh, Lewis, I do want to do another Fake or Not this week. This is another Sonic and Knuckles, and again, it's missing that top piece. It was an easy piece to have fall off. There were a few Game Boy cartridges that had a little flap that you'd flip down and install a battery into, like an actual AAA battery, not like a watch battery or something. And sometimes those would power the rumble motors that were inside the games. And those flaps too, anything with a flap on it, an extra piece, it would just be so easy for kids who generally own this stuff to lose back in the day. And Sonic 2. So did we have all of them in here? Sonic 1 was the first one I pulled out, and then there's Sonic 2. Sonic 3 was in amongst here as well. Also Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3D Blast. So that's wild. Four Sonic games so far. Digging a little deeper, now we're getting to see the Genesis games as they were originally sold in this hard plastic case. Here's Mortal Kombat. Let's see what that looks like inside. There's the game, fits over here on the one side. It's got these little clips on the side that sort of hold the cartridge in, kind of snaps out past those and pushes in past those. And then the manual slides over here, and that had some little clips as well that sort of held the manual in place. What's cool is that the Genesis, by using these plastic cases, they sort of withstood the test of time a little bit better than Nintendo, who often went with the cardboard boxes. In hindsight, you know, who would have known way back then, 30, 40 years ago, but probably smart that Genesis decided to go with the plastic. It's just sticking around longer. Oh, we're seeing the complete copy of Sonic 2. There's Tails. Another thing was awesome. Like on the back, you'd be able to see a write-up about the game. When you were shopping for games, you'd be able to read up on it, know what you were getting into, and then the all-critical screenshots that gave you some sort of indication on what to be expecting inside the game. Screenshots were like 75% of how I determined if I was going to be into a new game or not. Then obviously word of mouth, friends were a big part too. If a friend who, you know, you and he were both into a similar type of game or something like that, somebody that you could sort of trust their recommendations on, that would be another great way. But otherwise, if you're just going in blind, well, let me see what the game looks like. And it looks like we've got one more in here. It's NBA Jam. This is the tournament edition. Cool art on that. It's like a silver ball with the words, the letters emblazoned on it. The ball's on fire. Happy Monday, Parker. Good to see you. And back here, you can see all kinds of stuff going on. Screenshots, player matchups. Go for the 5-point shot from the hot spot. Reading the box art on the way home with a new game and the manual back in the day, dude, I remember 100%. I remember that. I have great memories of coming back from a game shop, driving back in the back seat, and reading everything I could in that game. And what I really loved is when the manual had a bit more in it than just like the instruction booklet. If there was a little bit of behind the scenes or a little bit of backstory about the game, I loved that. Okay, jump into our second collection today, coming to us from Rancho Santa something or other, California. Trader Joe's bags up top, protecting things, good sign. DKOldies, you're welcome. Did somebody include a movie here for us? Oh my gosh, it's The Sound of Music. A sealed copy of The Sound of Music. What is this, a DVD? Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Well, looks like we'll be doing a viewing here of Sound of Music, maybe tomorrow at lunch. What's up, RA? We do ship to the Philippines. We ship all over the world. Happiest sound in all the world. Good one. Some PS2 stuff is next. Conflict Desert Storm. It is a golden oldie movie. You're right. Sure is. There's Madden 07. Who else in here remembers, though, before DVDs? Anybody here remember actual VHS tapes? Remember having to rewind the tape? I remember back, like before my family had a DVD player, I would get to see it at friends' houses and not having to rewind, like being able to just jump back to the beginning. Or here's another one. DVDs came out with like chapter select. So you could jump to, 15 different points throughout the movie. And instead of having to fast forward to that crazy fight that happens in the middle, you could just select that middle area of where to start. Oh, here's another one. Remember when you used to fast forward or rewind, the screen would get all glitchy. You couldn't really make out what was on the screen while it was rewinding and forwarding. With DVDs, you could actually pause, even forward and reverse. I think it just sped up the motion. But you can actually pause and get a clear screen. Please be kind and rewind. I remember it well. Yup. Still watch VHS is loyal to this day. Can't get some things on on DVD. That's interesting. What's up, Cody? The orange Nickelodeon VHS. Sarah, I do. I remember this stuff as well. Yup. And I guess going to Blockbuster and renting the VHS tapes? Absolutely. Getting charged if you didn't rewind it. Wasn't that crazy, Sean? I mean, I guess I get it. But yeah, that was on you. When you rented a movie and you were taking it back to be returned, it was your responsibility to rewind the tape so that when they put it back up on the shelf and then somebody else picked it up, they didn't bring it home to start it and find it was there at the end and needed to be rewound. I guess maybe they charged you for it if they didn't. There were entire machines that the whole job was you would slide the VHS tape into it and close it down and it would just rewind. It was called a VHS rewinder. You couldn't play or watch anything on it. It was just for, and I guess movie rental places must have had a ton of them. People must have been bringing in stuff constantly that needed to be rewound. What's up, Astro? Do we have the PS Vita? Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. It's up on the website, DKOldies.com. There's a Jet Li game, Rise to Honor. For some men, a question of honor is a matter of life and death. Ooh. Any Sega Saturn games, somebody just asked. Yes, we do have Saturn games. Now, it's one, you're right, it's something we don't see too often, but especially if you tune into these unboxings, that'd be a great place to check them out. It was an extra $1 for not rewinding, Jenna says. That's crazy. Athens 2024, an Olympics game, huh? That's crazy. DOA had a pamphlet, character story, and background. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jenna. That stuff was so cool to read. Like, you came home. It just built excitement for the game, is what happened. The entire time you're riding home, you're reading up on it, just getting more and more hyped for what's going to be coming. And by the time you finally put that game into the system or into your console, you were so excited for it. Kokomo, Indiana, what's going on? Thanks for making it today. Ghost Recon, the Tom Clancy games. Such a big deal. Tom Clancy's still doing newer stuff. Siege, right? Rainbow Six Siege. Yo, what's up, Paul? Yeah, the UMD movies, the little movies that look just like a game, but there was a movie on it. You'd put that into the PSP and it would play. Those were crazy as well. I do remember that. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. They should have made movies out of some of these extra titles. Yo, what's going on, Chris? That wasn't a Sound of Music game. It was a DVD. Looks like somebody included it into this package. It said right on it, thanks, DK Oldies. 50th anniversary. That's wild. What's up, callers? Do people donate these games? Nope. Every day people reach out asking us to buy their old games and consoles. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. If you guys have stuff that you want to sell, you can check out our website, DKOldies.com. We even list the prices we're buying for right there on the website, so you know exactly what to expect. SingStar Pop. Game only? No manual? Let's see. True. It's actually SingStar Amped. There are PSP movies in here. Somebody was just asking about them. There's Hellboy. Who plays the main character in Hellboy? Full-length movie, widescreen presentation, and DVD picture quality. The movies work really well on a PSP. Let me show you what this looks like inside here too. The screen is bright, clear enough. I dropped it. The screen is bright and big enough to watch the movie on, and a little bit different. Ron Perlman, yes! That's it, I was never going to think of that, team. Good work. That's him. Here's what it looks like right there. And if you flip it over, you can see there's this little cutout where just part of the disc is revealed. That's the part that's red as it spins around. And the games for the PSP and the movies look just like that. Oh boy, that's a crazy one. Let's see, there's some more. Oh my gosh, iRobot. This is good. I kind of like sci-fi futuristic movies like this, and not the best in the world, but hey, we don't get a ton of futuristic sci-fi stuff, so take what you can get. High-tech thriller with eye-popping visual feats. Okay. NCAA game, and Terminator 3 Redemption. Let's check out these screenshots. Look at that chain gun he's holding. And half a Terminator, half a robot. To kill one, you must become one. Yo, look at that. There you go on the motorcycle. That looks cool. Yeah, the Video Now players. That's another one I didn't really know too much about back when I was younger, but that's something I've seen come in here. If you remember what a Discman looked like, the Walkman that would play CDs, there was something called a Video Now, and the thing looks just like that, but it's got a little screen on it, and you could watch tiny little movies on that little screen. NCAA Race for the Heisman. Football 2003. There's some more Tom Clancy stuff at Splinter Cell. And NBA Live. Cool, it's got the hologram on it. That's really neat. MX Rider. Oh, and what's this one? This was an old movie, right? Like Steve McQueen or something? The Great Escape. I think it's about guys escaping out of prison. Stalag Luft, Germany, 1942. That looks cool too. Imagine a game where you're trying to break out of prison. What's going on, J-Man? Nope, I'm not the owner. I work in our social media department. I've been here 7, maybe coming up on 8 years now. It's been a lot of fun. There's Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction. What is this, a first-person, third-person shooter? If it shoots or explodes, you can use it as a weapon. Free to go anywhere, destroy anything, and blow the crap out of everything. Wow. Wow. All right. Cabela's Big Game Hunter. Oh my gosh, The Mummy. They made a game out of The Mummy. It's Brendan Fraser and this guy. Mummy movies were fun. Be good, be evil. Face off with the ultimate evil, the powerful Scorpion King. Oh my gosh, they got the Scorpion King in it. Isn't that The Rock? You can see it kind of looks like The Rock a little bit if you squint right there. Lord of the Rings game. There's a few of them on PS2. This is Return of the King. What's up? They're all either killed or captured. The not so great escape, huh? What is this? A Civil War game? Wait, a History Channel game? Do you play it or do you learn it? Experience the intensity, carnage, and chaos of the war that divided a nation. Fight as a Confederate or Union soldier in battles like Gettysburg, Bull Run, and Antietam. Now that's cool. You actually get to like learn about it by playing it. That's cool. Yeah, Chris, I remember that CGI for The Rock and the Mummy. It was rough, but hey, maybe it was early. I don't know. Maybe they were still working out the kinks on CGI. I don't know. Throw him a bone. Another Tom Clancy game. Look at the headgear this guy's got on. Yo, what's going on? Bradley back from Spain. Yo, that's so cool, man. You're so lucky. I would love to go. I'm going to have to see about taking a trip out there. That sounds awesome, Bradley. World Tour soccer game. NFL Street 2 Unleash. Whoa, cool hologram on this one. Look at all the different helmets it's got on it. That's cool. What's going on, Drew from Phoenixville, huh? MLB. What is this? I've never seen this one. Frantics, a puzzle adventure featuring 2002 Academy Award winner, Best Animated Short Film, The Chub Chubs. What? What are we talking about? An amazing puzzle adventure that will leave you frantics. I like puzzle games, as long as they're not too tough. I find frustrating puzzle games, if they're too tough, I can get frustrated. But just the right amount of puzzle. There was an old one back in the day called like Zuma. It was kind of more of like a Bejeweled type of game. Maybe, I don't know if puzzle's necessarily the right word for those. But those can be really addicting. ATV Off-Road Fury, Blazing Trails. What that Tricky's doing up there? Oh, and there's an Ape Escape game. I think I remember seeing Ape Escape back on PS1. Strange Brigade. Zombie shooting game set in Egypt. That's cool, Bradley. I don't know if I've heard of that before. It sounds neat. SOCOM. Navy SEALs Fire Team Bravo #2. After 2 Jurassic Park films and the same year as Pearl Harbor. Yeah, Brady, okay, well, I mean, if Jurassic Park was doing their special effects even before The Mummy, they've got no excuse for that CGI then. Madden 07. What's going on, Relaxing Papa from Germany, huh? Oh, Spider-Man 2. What a good find. 19 action-packed levels made exclusively for the PSP. No way, what's it say? Featuring the voices of Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina. Who's that? Is that this Doc? The Doc Octopus guy? Whoops, sorry, there you go. And Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten. 44 and windy. Oh, Sarah calling for snow coming up. Well, our weather finally cooled down a bit here as well, Sarah. We're maybe just in the upper 60s today. This week's going to be a bit cooler. Untold Legends. What's that look like? Oh, cool. Kind of a top-down fighter. That's cool. He is Doc Ock, people are saying. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, Benjamin? Thanks for sharing. Oh my gosh, it's another movie. It's Napoleon Dynamite. I can never tell when I pull these out. Is this a game? I initially, real quick, was like, is this a game? Hilarious, wonderfully original. I liked Napoleon Dynamite enough, I guess. It's a little bit cringy at points and hard to watch, but Tony Hawk Remix. What's up, Chucky? We do have Wii games. Yes, we do. Got a huge selection of Wii titles. I'm standing right in front of them right now. Brother in Arms D-Day. Darkstalkers. What's this look like? A lot going on. A lot of characters there on the front. The secret power of the dark is unleashed. Fight head-to-head in a fierce and brutal battle. Rise of the Imperfects, Marvel game. Vote for Pedro. Yeah, that's it. I remember it now. MLB 06 as well. Oh, wait. Check this out. Back here in the back, 2 PSP systems. So this is the system right here that plays the movies that we were talking about, like I just showed off Napoleon Dynamite, and all of these games right here, that little CD. CD slides in the back, and then you can watch right there on this screen. And there's a second one back here as well. Oh, this one's got a car charger with it. Check that out. And then finally, some loose discs. Let's do one look down in here and see what we got. Lords of Dogtown, what is that? A movie? And does this slide out of here? Why is this case different? Can't entirely tell what's going on there. This case is a little bit different for this game. Oh. It's kind of sliding out from this thing. So maybe this is just like a little protective thingy for it, and then there itself is the actual game. Yeah, that's cool. Continuing, what was this one? ATV, another Off-Road Fury game. Lord of Dogtown is a movie about skateboarders. Somebody's saying, really? No kidding. Snowy in Utah, what's up, Justin? There's Lumines. We do deliver to England, Bradley. Yep, all over the world. And there's one more down here, too. What was this one? Oh, it's National Treasure. Cool. The Nicolas Cage movies. Cool finds. And PSP systems are what are finishing that off. Good stuff today. Our first collection was some Genesis stuff. We had a couple different consoles, even a PS2 console, plus some Genesis games. And then collection number 2, we had a bunch of PS2 stuff and moved into this PSP collection. Finally finished it off with some handhelds down there too. Wrap it up here today, folks. Everything I show off goes up to the website, DKOldies.com. Be back tomorrow.